What's going on, summoners? Welcome back to another Wild Rift video. My name is Kangas, and today we're going to be going over 6 champions that are just OP on patch 2.0a. So if you haven't played any of these champs or just haven't tried them that much recently, make sure to give them a go for some free wins. So let's get straight into it. First up, we have Olaf in the Baron lane. He's absolutely dominating every elo, and if you haven't given him a whirl, then you should definitely try him now. He's got everything you could ever want in his kit and more. On the Wild Rift, winning the early game is the most important thing that you can do. It's not a guarantee that you can get to your mid or late game, and getting a few items won't happen every game. Often, games will just end quickly, so making sure that you're able to influence every game is extremely important. Olaf is one of the best champions in the early game. Against ranged opponents, his chase down potential is extremely strong. If one undertow lands, the slow often chains into the next undertow, and it can be extremely hard to stay out of his effective range. He can even quickly clear waves with his axes to recall if he gets poked out, and he can farm from range with them too. Olaf can also use his vicious strikes on the minions to top up his health bar at any time, and the sustain can be extremely oppressive to lane opponents. Where Olaf really shines is against melee champions. His passive granting him attack speed when he's low and vicious strikes increasing his healing when he's low makes him incredibly hard to kill. And if you can't one-shot him, he's gonna sustain through the rest of your damage and chop you down extremely quickly. Reckless Swing does plenty of damage in the early game for your short trades, and your undertow chase down potential is still very good. Olaf's huge sustain and extreme damage output often allow him to 1v2 in a lot of scenarios, which means you don't always have to rely on your jungler so much and can push your limits very far. The main counterplay the enemy team has to Olaf is to outscale him and kite him. If you find the enemy team is too long ranged, Glorious Enchant can help you close that distance. Since you're in the Baron lane, you'll have access to far more gold and EXP than the typical jungle Olaf, and you won't be outscaled nearly as fast. Most games end before scaling becomes relevant, and once you're good at Olaf, you'll learn how to influence a map and close out games with your obscene strength. Give him a go and make sure to play aggressively for some easy wins. Before we continue, make sure to join our Wild Rift Discord in the description down below and sub to the channel to keep up with all updates regarding Wild Rift. Join the community, join the fun, and let's get better at the game together.
Leave nothing behind.
Next up, we got another Baron lane pick. Kennen has been storming through the top lane pretty consistently, and we think he's an excellent champion to carry games on. Like we talked about before, the early game is very important on the Wild Rift, and Kennen is a magnificent bully in lane, and also has crowd control and burst that can help you win any skirmish. He doesn't necessarily have the raw dueling and fighting power of champions like Darius and Olaf, but he makes up for it with his annoying ranged harass in lane and later game teamfight potential. Most Baron laners are melee champions and will face a constant rain of auto attacks and thunder and shurikens, making it hard for them to approach the wave and actually push against Kennen. They'll be relegated to farming defensively under their tower, while Kennen is free to roam and help out his jungler or the rest of his team. Kennen CC is easy to apply and can be done from range, so jungle skirmishes are a breeze. Where Kennen really shines is once he's got his Hextech Gunblade and Infinity Orb completed. These two items combine to make Kennen's burst unbelievable, and you'll be deleting carries left and right. Hextech Gunblade's extra burst helps you get them into the threshold where Infinity Orb makes your abilities crit. This energy is incredibly valuable and is one of the most oppressive 2-item spikes in the whole game. If you want to stomp your lane and send entire teams to the grave, then you should lock in Kennen whenever you can.
I am the wind.
Before we get to the rest of our list, our question of the day is, what ability is too strong and needs a nerf? I find Fizz's Playful Trickster so annoying, and when he's ahead, it feels like he always has it up to dodge my abilities. Let me know your answer in the comments below. Now, if you've been playing the Dragon lane lately on the Wild Rift, you've probably been on the wrong end of an Alistar's horns one too many times. Alistar is extremely OP right now, and his list of strengths is endless. He's great in the early game, great in skirmishes, great in teamfights, incredibly tanky even without any gold income, and a crowd control machine. So first, let's go over Alistar's main weakness. Level 1 is a sore point for the bull, and you won't be winning many lanes if you try to be aggressive super early. His basic abilities combo extremely well together, but they're not much use on their own. Fortunately for you, level 2 comes around very quickly, and that's when Alistar really begins to shine. Headbutt combined with Pulverize is a devastating combo, and staying out of range of this is crucial to surviving lane against Alistar. Fortunately for him, if champions aren't actively getting engaged on, they're conceding the lane, and you can push freely. This plays into Alistar's next strength, roaming. Alistar is at his strongest when he's paired with another strong champion, and he's great at linking up with your jungler. Anytime after level 3, Alistar should be looking to join in on jungle skirmishes or roam wherever he can. 3-man ganks mid are a great way to break open an entire game, and any mid laner on the receiving end of a headbutt pulverize combo is not going to be happy. When Alistar gains access to his ultimate, Unbreakable Will, things get really crazy. Alistar's ultimate not only breaks any crowd control effects on him, but it also makes him extremely tanky, which is perfect for a low gold income support that needs to engage. Where this is especially useful is under tower. Alistar can dive towers for an extremely long time. Diving bot against champions like Seraphine and Sona is an absolute breeze, as their health bars will be long gone before the tower can even start to dent Alistar's health bar. The Cow is also a great team fighter. He's a powerful frontliner with tons of CC that can be used in many different ways. You can lock up entire backlines with your combo and take all the aggro. Or if you're against champions like Akali, Amumu, or Camille, you can actually hold your headbutt to remove them from the fight after they try to engage. If they come again, you can pulverize them for more CC. Alistar is a great addition to any team comp, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose lane because he's still incredibly tanky and useful in every situation. If you want to make proactive plays for your team and be a deciding factor in your games, Alistar is your champ.
Nothing can hold me back.
Shyvana has been dominating the jungle and is also a very popular pick, and if you haven't picked up on it, she's obscenely overpowered. Shyvana has always been known for flying through the jungle at record pace and devouring any camps that spawns, but she's also incredible at taking objectives and can ruin most champions in duels. Shyvana should be feared at all stages of the game, and the best counterplay is to keep as far away from her as you possibly can. Shyvana's early game clear is super speedy due to her Flame Breath enchanting her attacks and Twin Bite's double attack, allowing her to plow through camps at breakneck speed, while also staying relatively healthy due to her fast clear. Burnout is helpful for any AoE camps and is also useful for speeding over to the next camp. The combination of Flame Breath and Twin Bite is virtually unrivaled in objective killing potential, and farming dragons for enhanced abilities in dragon form should be a priority for Shyvana. Similar to jungle camps, most champions melt when hit with Flame Breath followed by auto attacks and Twin Bites. Melee duels are Shyvana's forte, and if she's allowed to keep auto attacking, she usually wins. She is extremely reliant on Flame Breath actually connecting, as her damage is relatively low without the on-hit that is applied by it. Shyvana really becomes most powerful when she gains access to her ultimate, Dragon's Descent. We already know that Shyvana wins all of her duels in melee range, so when all of her abilities are enhanced and she has a powerful gap closer, there is plenty to be afraid of. Dragon's Descent is perfect for engaging onto pesky mages and marksmen that love to keep their distance, and even if you can't start auto-attacking straight away, Burnout will make short work of the remaining ground to cover. Shyvana's damage output continues to get better as the game progresses, and she's one of the best carry junglers when she gets her items. She's great at generating gold and putting it to use, however, she is far from weak in the early game. She's prone to getting deleted by multiple people and also can get kited, so just keep that in mind next time you try and chase down the enemy Ezreal before you unlock Dragon's Descent. If you avoid these small pitfalls, the victory is almost assured once you lock her in.
They are nothing before me. I smell fear.
Draven is brutalizing the rest of the competition right now with his lethal axes and general early game prowess. His DPS in the early game is far above any other marksman, and his all-in is also extremely threatening. The cherry on top is that he combos great with strong meta supports as well. Most champions pair nicely with Draven, however he is especially good at deleting targets with Alistar's lockdown or pumping out crazy damage, while Janna sends any threatening champions spinning away. Draven's first ability, Spinning Axe, makes his auto attacks deal phenomenal damage. Catching these axes can be challenging at first, but once the flow of Draven is mastered, it becomes second nature. This bonus damage also applies lifesteal, which means once Draven has even a tiny bit, his sustain becomes more than obnoxious. Later into the game, once he starts picking up items like Death Stance and the Bloodthirster, Draven will be healing hundreds of health per auto attack, and if his health bar isn't reduced to 0 immediately, Draven will often be able to sustain through far more damage than you'd expect a marksman to be able to take. Draven's ultimate, Whirling Death, is an underrated but also extremely powerful part of his kit. The burst that comes from landing both parts of the ability is insane, and is part of why he pairs so well with champions with crowd control. Once Whirling Death is unlocked, no marksman is safe, and Draven must be respected immensely, or else he'll send you on the gray screen express back to Fountain. Another underrated part of his kit is his third ability, Stand Aside. It's not the most powerful CC, but it's great for interrupting channels like Monsoon, or protecting yourself from Camille's hookshot or Akali's perfect execution. Interrupting these abilities can be crucial for winning fights, and Draven having access to this tool makes him far more self-sufficient. This blood brother has definitely been living up to his title, and if you're after a micro-intensive early game powerhouse, Draven is your man.
Welcome to the League of Draven. Perfection? I got that.
And to round things out, the last OP pick I have for you today is Janna support. She's pretty overtuned right now, and in the right hands is extremely oppressive and can turn the tides of most games. Janna is quite squishy for support, but fortunately she has many tools for alleviating this weakness. First of all, she just runs really fast. Her passive Tailwind grants her and allies moving towards her extra movement speed. This allows her to outspace most champions and stay out of potential engage range. Her first ability, Howling Gale, is her iconic Tornado. This ability is great at denying engages and can be cast responsively to things like Camille Hookshot and Alistar Headbutt, stopping them dead in their tracks. Janna is also an oppressive laner if she's not getting killed. Zephyr is great harass in lane, and the slow it provides makes it very hard to trade back onto Janna. It's also useful at slowing down enemies so that they can be caught, or stopping enemies from chasing Janna or her team. It's crucial to be able to pick the right target to use this on to get the maximum value, so don't just immediately cast it on the first champion that comes into range. Outside of lane is where Janna truly shines. Ultimately, she's a scaling teamfighting support and doesn't want to be involved in too many early game skirmishes. However, her laning is still solid and she's great at denying enemy opportunities. Once she's out of the early game, her Eye of the Storm and Monsoon combine together to keep her allies safe and buffed up. The shield and AD from Eye of the Storm is good at empowering both her marksman duo or any aggressive bruisers that scale with AD. Monsoon's heal is insane, and it can also be used to interrupt dashes or peel away threatening champions from her team. Overall, Janna just has tools for every teamfight, and if she's not getting ganked and killed, she will beat your head in during the laning phase. If supports like Alistar aren't your jam, try out Janna, and I'm sure you'll find success.
The Tempest is at your command.
And that wraps up our 6 OP picks for 2.0A. Now, these champions don't literally win you the game the moment you lock them in, but they are extremely powerful, and if you're looking for some champs to learn and climb the ladder with, these are going to be your best bet. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Make sure to answer a question of the day in the comments down below. Sub to the channel if you enjoyed the content and want to see more, and also join our Discord in the link in the description down below so you can join in on the community fun. As always, best of luck on the Rift, stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one.
Starting
now?